Network's about to go live. Streaming is
All
live.
right.
Welcome. Wow. So welcome everybody. We are live, and this is Stronger Together with Marc and Matt. I'm not sure if we're waiting for a few people to enter the room and watch the streaming. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to be here this evening, bringing you the podcast. It will be a bi-weekly podcast. We will have audience engagement. And again, we'll apologize in advance if we can't get to your questions during the episode. This podcast is designed and set up to highlight and show individuals in our community doing amazing things, companies, organizations, foundations, nonprofits, and products. We just really wanted to create a positive place where we can highlight amazing people and organizations. And it will be recorded. This will be recorded, so you will be able to find this on the Marc Network app as well as United Spinal's website. So, Matt, anything?
I mean, Marc, I can't believe the day is finally here, to be honest with you. We've been building up to this. It seems like forever, and, I'm so excited. We have a wonderful guest, two wonderful guests tonight. I'm excited to be able to bring this information to the community, to connect on such a large platform. I'm looking for this to grow and evolve to something huge. But I think, Marc, there's probably a lot of people out there that know us, but there's a lot of people that probably don't know us out there. So what I was thinking is maybe if we can, let's start off by sharing a little bit about us, and then we'll go into our guests. So Marc, you want to start off with sharing a little bit about who you are?
So I am Marc Fugaril. I'm a Boston Marathon bomber survivor, right leg above the knee amputee, left leg salvage limb. Born and raised in a little town outside of Boston, Stoneham, Massachusetts. I reside now in Reading and somewhat in Texas. I enjoy skiing in a monoski. I hand cycle marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons. I love my hand cycle. Completed a couple Spartan races. I also, love traveling the country. I am married to an amazing woman, Nikki, as well as I am a father to my son, Gavin Fugaril, who's 17. But yeah, that's pretty much a little bit about me. Tell me a little bit about you, Matt. Let's fill in the audience.
Yeah.
Let's educate them.
Matt Castellano. I grew up in New York in Rockland County. I was injured in 2003 in a motorcycle accident. I was 26 years old at the time, and it's been a long road. I'm coming up to, 22 years, May 17th. I don't remember many dates, but I'll never forget that date. May 17th, 10 a.m., my life changed drastically. I am a father of twin boys. I'm a husband and a father of twin boys. They just turned 13 in April. My one boy is very active in sports. The other one's more academically focused. My one son also has some challenges, but it's awesome. They're both great. I'm very active in a lot of sports. I ran an adaptive sports program for about 14 years. I worked in a rehab facility as a mentor coordinator. I'm very involved in the disability community. I figured if this is the card I'm dealt, I'm going to thrust myself into it full force. So I do a lot of adaptive sports. I play for the New York Warriors rugby team. I do skiing, I do softball, wide variety, sailing. But my passion is really rugby, and I do a lot of push racing and biking. I've done several marathons. So, just living the dream, trying to make the most of what I'm living with. And when I connected with Marc, it was immediate, Marc. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like I found someone that got it, that was on the same line. Wouldn't you agree?
I would definitely, Matt, and I left out sled hockey and a few other things that me and you had so much in common when it came to what brought us to where we are today and what makes us who we are. After our injuries, we both did have that lengthy recovery. And as soon as we met, Matt, I mean, I felt your passion, you felt my passion. We both loved the whole concept of community because me and you both benefited from others facing similar challenges, right? And that's what this is about. This is why it's stronger together. Your disability is different than my disability, but yet we do so much of the similar things utilizing the same equipment. I'm in my wheelchair. I know you're in yours, you know. And that's what brought us together. And I think our numbers will be bigger, better, and stronger if we come together as a community. And like you said, Matt, instantly, right when I met you and you met me, we just knew that this had to evolve into something bigger. And I'm glad we're here tonight. And with no further ado, we are here tonight to shine a light on, you know, some people in the community doing amazing thing. And those two individuals, Nikki and Jesi, right, with With Me Adapt Fit, they're amazing. You know, as well as I know, I'm honored to have these two on here. I've been following their journey, watching their journey, running into them at the Abilities Expo, and just watching them work and put that effort in and put that time in has been amazing. And I'm so honored to have them here, knowing what their goals are and where they're trying to go and take to. Ladies, welcome. Welcome to the Stronger Together podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Now, so guys, can you start out with telling a little bit of the backstory on you guys? You know, what brought you to where we are today? I guess let's start with Jesi. I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Nikki,
so I too was paralyzed in a motorcycle accident. A woman made a U-turn into the bike I was a passenger on. Driver didn't stop in time back in 2015, and I struggled a lot. I gained 30 pounds my first year of injury. Couldn't get myself off the floor. I would fall and get stuck there and then just have this meltdown. And so I knew something had to change. And it took me about 2 years to find adaptive CrossFit, which completely changed my life. I started competing in 2017 and then joined the wheelchair curling team, started focusing on mindset, and really started posting about fitness. And it wasn't until 2022, I had an app developer reach out to me and he's like, hey, there's no fitness app for wheelchair users. There needs to be a fitness app for wheelchair users. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, I'll give it to you. And I was like, okay, cool. And I went back to work full time as an orthodontic assistant at the same time. And so I really did not have the time and capacity to put into the app that I wish I would have. And my passion isn't personal training. It is nutrition and mindset. And so when Nikki kept saying, how do I start an app? How do I start an app? How do I start an app? I was like, no. Because Nikki is the best personal trainer in the wheelchair space. She helps wheelies find independence through fitness in ways that there's no one out there doing what she's doing. And so I was like, absolutely not. We're going to merge because we're stronger together. And so shortly after her injury, we had been messaging since. And then when she kept talking about the app and really started growing her personal training business, I was like, oh no, like we need to work together. So then Wheel With Me Adapt Fit was born. And that's how we kind of got here. And it just, you know, collaboration, I think, is the most important thing in this community. It's often overlooked. We constantly act like we're in competition with each other. And we're in such a small niche community that we've got to stop competing against each other. We have to collaborate more so we're able to actually get the change we're after.
Hence why you're here today, right? I mean, me and you have been talking since last year's expo where you were across the aisle from me and you were working with and helping bring awareness to that catheter company and pushing. And I just saw you hustling and I was like, I'm going to watch this girl. We stayed in touch, and, you know, and then one thing led to another, and then we meet Nikki and I'm seeing it, you know, Wheel With Me Adapt Fit, and I'm watching you two and I'm going, they're great. And like you said, stronger together in collaboration. That's why I really wanted to have you guys on as our first guest. I really, really recognize the work you two girls are putting in. Nikki, bring us to you.
Yeah, so I was injured in a multi-car accident in August of 2018. And I have been a personal trainer since 2014. And I I actually trained golfers, and we focused on functional movement training and how to, make them stronger for their golf game. I didn't play golf, but I trained them to be good golfers, But then I had my car accident, and I kind of switched my whole focus to I'm going to walk again, and focused wholly on going to rehab. And for a year and a half, I also, like Jesi, gained a ton of weight after my injury. I was paralyzed from the chest down, and I was super depressed, wanted to get back into the fitness space again. So my sister and we were on a family vacation, and we went into the gym, and I just felt so out of place. The gym was so small in this hotel, and I felt like everyone was staring at me, and I couldn't even get in between the benches to grab dumbbells. My sister had to get everything for us, and I just broke down crying because, the gym was my home before my car accident. And I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to continue living my life this way? Once I switched my perspective from solely focusing on walking to, okay, I need to strengthen my entire upper body. So when that time comes, I can actually hold myself up and walk, because if you don't have trunk strength, core strength, upper body strength, you're not going to be able to hold yourself up when that time comes. So once I got home from that vacation, I messaged one of my girlfriends who I actually trained to be a personal trainer, and she and I got in the gym, and we just kind of figured it out together, how to work out as a wheelchair user. And I mean, looking back now, I'm like, Nikki, literally every single machine in the gym is seated. So you just have to use a cable machine or resistance bands and mimic those machines, and then have a spotter, get certain equipment if you need, an extra strap to hold you in your chair. But I was like, you still have your brain. You can do this. So I just started adapting workouts for myself. I started posting those workouts on Instagram for other wheelchair users, and that in 2021. And that was really the start of me posting workouts on social media. I reached out to Jesi, and because she also had, fitness and nutrition, that connection. And we, as Jesi said, I wanted to start an app, and she was like, what if you just join mine? And I'm like, well, that's a lot easier actually on my end. So, and it's better to have a partner. So let's do it. We have the same mission. And yeah, that's how we got here.
Match made in heaven. It's amazing how the universe works, bringing us together. Two individuals that probably would not have met in other circumstances, but you were brought together. Now look what you have created. One of the things you mentioned, being a personal trainer, for a long time, I too went into gym shortly after. Probably I struggled for about 2 years after my injury of just kind of wrapping my head around it, and then I was like, all right, a couple of people, my family were like, all right, you got to either start moving or just shut this door and say goodbye to everything. So I knew I had to do something. So I went to a gym, and it was an overwhelming experience because everybody was working out. I saw a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. I exited immediately. And I was fortunate. One of the gym members followed me out and said, can I help you with something? Do you need help in there? And from that moment forward, I always thought maybe there's a need for teaching personal trainers or creating a module for teaching personal trainers how to work with them, because I've never really had a great experience with a personal trainer. I've always kind of ventured on my own. Do you think there's a need out there for something like that?
100%.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah. I've taken adaptive training courses specifically, and so it's not only for wheelchair users, it's also for amputees. And it's very interesting, the things that even as somebody that uses a wheelchair, I wouldn't think about when it comes to training somebody, as far as them needing energy for their activities of daily living after the fact, after the training session. Like personal trainers are often like, oh, I need to work the muscle and break the muscle down. But it's like, hey, we also need to use those as our legs the rest of the day. Or, you know, if you're wearing prosthetics, you have to be mindful of the movement and how it rubs in the prosthetic.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people just don't consider that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I got to say, Jesi, I watched your YouTube clip because I was doing some dirt digging on both of you guys, because Marc knew you guys, but Marc brought you guys to my attention. I was like, wow, I got to look into these guys a little further. And so I did, and I came across your YouTube clip of the floor transfer. And I got to say, it really brought me back to that moment, because I've been there. I've been there where it's like, it's overwhelming sometimes, right? And I'm really impressed with what you guys have created.
I too can relate, even though I'm an amputee. I mean, I was no weight bearing for many, many months on my left leg, so I didn't have legs. I actually stepped out of my truck, literally stepped out and didn't have anything. I just went down on the ground and had to get up. Like I forgot I didn't have a leg. It was legit. My buddy, Dave, drove me. We came to the apartment. I opened the door. I went out and I just hit the ground like a ton of bricks. I was heavily medicated too, but at the same time,
that'll do it.
But they used to, you know, at physical therapy and occupational therapy, I remember, you know, just working to get up off the floor because I was no weight bearing continuously. For me to go home, I had to figure out, without putting any weight, I couldn't put any weight on my leg. And I had to do that over and over again. And it was daunting. And Jesi, you made a good point. Like, people tend to forget our challenges. Like you said, work out those arms, push out of that one more rep. It's like, hey, I might not be able to wheel out to my car. Like, you know, but I do see a lot generating and coming from a lot of different places with adaptive fitness now. And it's getting better. It is getting better. So there's a lot of hope. It's like you girls, you know, and you know how it is. You go to one gym, it's not necessarily the gym for you, or that trainer is not the one for you. So having so many in a variety of people is a plus. I mean, I always talk about, you know, seeing the girls on the beach working out. Man, I remember my sister and my mom, like, you know, working out in the living room, watching, and, you know, it's true. We don't have that as our community, you know, and it's funny how you two are so similar and came together. Me and Matt met each other. We're so similar, and, you know, we came together. And, you know, I am seeing it more and more, Jesi, Nikki, and Matt. Like, I'm seeing people understand, because people like us, like, you guys are a big voice in the community. You know, I see you at the Abilities Expo hosting, you know, seminars and at your table, and people come over to my table like, we just left, because they see the flyer on our table. We just left Jesi and Nikki. They're so great. And, you know, you guys are a big voice, and, you know, people like us continuously talking about this collaboration coming together as a community. And let's start building these things ourselves. Let's not rely on able-bodied people, because we're able to do it and we know it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my one-on-one clients, whenever we first get started, they're like expecting that whole, I'm going to be so sore after this workout, not going to be able to move. That is not how I train. And that is honestly not how a personal trainer should train. You are training to have your client start to enjoy working out. You aren't trying, like, the trainers that try to kill you, they deserve to be in like the NFL, like all those high, you know, the ones that, like, those guys are getting paid the big bucks. But to see progress, you don't need to die during your workout. And, you know, that's why I love the workouts that I create and that Jesi creates, because they're realistic, one, but they're also effective. And you aren't feeling like you're going to feel sore afterwards, but you're still going to be able to go about your day and get things done.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit? So how does someone get started on your app? What is the process, you know?
So they go to their app store and they look up Wheel With Me, Adapt Fit, or Seated Fitness, or Wheelchair Fitness, and we will come up. We are the top app. Currently have over a 4.5-star rating in the Apple App Store. We're in both Apple and Google. They download the app. Do what? 4.9. That's right. Yeah. 4.9. We are almost to that 5.0 perfect rating. So go to your app store, search Wheel With Me, Adapt Fit, download the app. You get a 7-day free trial. And so you get to get in there and figure out what's going to work for you. If you hit the programs tab, it's going to take you through an at-home program or a gym program. Or if you just need to improve your transfers, there's a whole transfer series in there. If you want to improve your mobility, there's a whole mobility challenge in there. And so you can start at the programs if you're not wanting to piece something together. Or if you're trying to start light and you're like, you know what, I'm brand new to fitness. I have never even looked at a weight. I've never looked at a resistance band. Let's scroll down to the body weight workouts and let's just start moving our body and getting comfortable doing that. We have classes, so interactive classes where we're talking like this, kind of like what you see at the Abilities Expos. And we have routines where it's going to show you the movement and then you do the movement with it. Your music plays in the background when you do a routine, so you can still jam out, or you can listen to a podcast, whatever you like to do when you fitness. But I love the classes because you're getting personality and you're going to see some other faces. It's not just our face in there. We're adding faces from the community. And so that's something else. Like we said, we want to collaborate. We want to make this something that people are like, man, that person looks like me. I'm going to work out with that person, and really give people that personal aspect. And so now, just like the movies that your mom watched, Mark, we can go into the living room and do classes with us and do Wheel With Me, Adapt Fit. And then also we're working on adding some live workouts with Nikki, weekly live workout that's going to be hosted through the app as well. So you definitely want to get in there, pop into the community and say, hey, what's up? I'm here. What's your favorite workout? Chat with the others in there. It's a really, really cool app. And I think we're so proud of it. I know I am. I know Nikki is. We're stoked to make something so awesome.
It's definitely a lot of work. I get building an app.
I know
and
you
building and the community, and it's it's exactly why I really created the Marc Network too, is because, like you said, get in that living room. Right? We can do this. Like, we can be in everybody's living room together, all of us. We just need to stop relying on other people to try to do it. And we're literally paving that way, showing people. And I know there's others out there doing amazing things. We're gonna highlight them too. They're doing it. We're gonna all get on the same page. We're gonna get to the same location. And I love it. Like, it's definitely our time. 100% how I feel with what's happening. In the way that we're coming at this and approaching it in the App Store. It's a great technology advancement that's helping people like us. And, like you said, going to a location isn't always possible for us. We're mobility, like we're impaired, like we're mobile, like to travel to a gym, it's extra time, extra effort. So what you're providing by allowing people to get on their computer right in front of them, or, and do this, it's truly amazing. Do you have any
Go ahead. Sorry.
Like a huge story, like a impacting someone's life? Like, have you seen what you're doing? Like, do you have like a story that just sits with you that just really melts your heart as a person doing this?
We have she's a newly single mama. She's finally gained the confidence to get herself out of a relationship and just take her son and go live life to the fullest. She has a 100-day streak in the Wheel With Me, Adapt Fit app. And so even through all of the chaos that is her personal life, she made zero excuses and showed up every single day. She's over 100 days now. This was the weekend of the Abilities Expos when she hit 100 days. But we're just like, those type of stories, people that just completely commit to them regardless of what's going on in their personal life. It's like, no, I'm going to be strong enough to be independent because I refuse to let anyone else dictate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, what I realized over my journey of recovery is there's 1,000 reasons why not to do something, 1,000 excuses, and they're legit excuses, right? Like, aches and pains. Maybe, Mark, you have a sore in your leg, you can't put your prosthetic on that day, or we're just not feeling it, whatever. But what I challenge everyone out there is to, challenge yourself to overcome those, not let those become barriers and stop you, because for those first couple of years, that's what I did. There were legit reasons. Oh, getting to a gym, doing this, doing that is too much work for me. But there's always a solution, and your app is a prime example. People can work out, get your body moving in multiple ways. I mean, I love the fact that you have many different platforms on the app to allow people of all abilities to participate, whether it's body movement or using TheraBands or weights.
Yeah, and I love that you can do the workouts at home. And then I also started adding in gym workouts because I personally love going to the gym. And I know that there are other wheelchair users that do love going to the gym too. And just showing that you can get an amazing workout at the gym, even when there isn't accessible equipment. But within the app, you can comment on the workouts and ask questions as well. And one, I love going through all the comments and seeing like what everyone's saying. And one that really one recent one, this woman wrote that she is loving the new workouts. She managed to go from wearing a 2XL to a large since starting the program, and she's gotten better control of diabetes. So that's just one of so many comments. And for me, and I know Jesi too, but like, I don't know these people personally. Like, I know my one-on-one clients personally. The fact that we are able to help more wheelchair users on such a larger scale, I want to meet all of them, hear all their stories. But like, this is literally why I do what I do. Like, it's not just like about losing weight or getting stronger. It's like her diabetes is getting under control. Like, that's amazing. Just from changing your daily habits and adding in movement. Like, that's huge.
Yes. Self-confidence, bowel bladder. I mean, there's so many benefits when you get your body, strong, that come along with that. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, if someone's using your app, but they had a question about some of the exercises, is there a way to communicate with you guys to get pointers?
Yeah. So the comments, like on the workouts, I've actually had people say, hey, Nikki, this looks like this exercise and not this exercise. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let me edit that. Thank you very much. But yeah, there's a community in there as well. So people can ask questions, cheer each other on. We go in there, we answer them, and really just help them along on their journey. But yeah, if there's form questions or anything like that, and they need like back and forth responses, we'll tell them to email us and, get it figured out.
Yeah.
What does the memberships range from, to and from, financially? Just trying to get an idea for the listeners and the viewers.
So we have a monthly membership. It's $14.99 a month. And then we have a yearly that I believe is, I'm not 100% sure. It's $149.
No, it's
$199.
$129.
That's what it is. We changed our price. No, we always recommend the monthly because it's just like
the math isn't mathing.
Yeah, math isn't mathing, but $14.99 a month, so super affordable. Like I said, you get a live workout with that too. It's
you were correct on that first one, $149. So we give a discount. You get like a $30 discount if you do the year.
Faithful, yeah.
But we just wanted to make something that's kind of not just affordable, but accessible. And I will say that if you do want to go to the gym, I've been following Nikki's gym program for the last 2 months. The back attack day is my favorite. But and it's just been amazing how much my strength has progressively increased. And we're really, really excited. This is the perfect time for us to come on together with you guys because we are about to launch a massive update to the app where you're going to have a calendar to be able to track your workouts. You're going to be able to put your weights in and just be a little bit more interactive and better. And Mark, I know you can relate to this. Apps are constantly developing and growing. We want your feedback. So if you have any suggestions for what workouts you want to see or what you would like to see in the app, let us know, because that calendar was feedback from somebody. And so always know that the app is able to change and develop if you're willing to give us the feedback. Just like people ask for more classes, we're providing more classes now.
I think it's great in the sense of like $14.95. I mean, I can't pay for a gym membership here where I live for $14.95, and this you can take it anywhere, which on vacation with you, I think that's amazing. And people got to understand these things cost money to hold on to, for you to host, to you to collect that data, store that information, store those video clips. It adds up really quick. I feel the pain. We just gotta bump up with membership. So we just got a bigger bill this month as well. So I get that, and I can appreciate you keeping it as affordable as you can. I think I love it. Like it's just that community, right? I mean, you can't put a price on community. You can't put a price on your health, right? And it sounds like, and it looked like everything that I've seen, that you guys pretty much start from the ground up, from a newbie to the highest level of most experience. And there might be somebody, and there might be somebody looking to get beat up. Like, I need to like push myself every day, and like, okay, go work out with Arnold, in California.
There's some bodybuilders out there for that, but also, with the price commitment, I think it's really important that people look at it as an investment. No different than investing in supplements, investing in personal development. You're investing in your growth and your ability to live the life you want to live. It's not just a fee to collect a fee. It's an investment, so you actually commit to it.
That's what I was going to say earlier, was it's owning up to like having to answer to somebody, right? Like, and I do that all the time to myself. And I have a couple buddies of mine that we're working on setting up a regular routine meeting every week, because, they're not accomplishing certain little tasks that they need to be accomplishing. And I'm like, it's because no one's holding you responsible. So as 3 friends, we're going to get on a call every week, and you're going to say you're going to do something. You're going to have it done. The next week we get on the call, we're going to hold you responsible. And that's what the app is about. It's truly holding one another as responsible, and that dedication of that commitment. It's in that investment into yourself.
That's
I love
what collaboration's about.
I think live classes will also promote that within someone, because when they're live, now you're even more accountable, because people are going to be looking for you. Like, hey, you weren't in the class last week. Where were you?
That's true. We're excited for those live workouts to come. Very excited.
Gamification, badges, awards, you guys got all that in the app, so people can know that they're on that streak, and you guys have all that?
We have a streak, and then with the new updates coming, we are going to be able to add personalized badges and whatnot. So I'm very excited for that too, because people will get milestones, which that makes me happy when I'm like, yes, I achieved this goal. Look at that. I got that. That's new and exciting.
My son, he's a junior in high school. He decided he wanted to wrestle sophomore year, like out of nowhere. And I'm like, sure. And he was wrestling varsity his sophomore year, first year ever wrestling at his weight class. And got beat up a lot, but whatever. He stayed with it. And I love that, commitment that he made, and he didn't let it get him down. He just kept pushing through. Now junior year, he moved up a weight class into the captain's weight class. Wasn't going to be wrestling varsity. Russell JV, had an opportunity to jump 2 weight classes to wrestle, and coach gave him the opportunity to wrestle 2 weight classes higher than he should have been in as a varsity wrestler, because that weight class guy went down with a broken nose. So now he's like, I'm bulking, and he's in the gym every day for the last, 3-4 weeks every day. And he's lifting, committed, seeing the growth. He downloaded this gym app, and it has all his muscles that he works, and he loves it. He's getting these badges. And I love that you girls are getting that into the community, because, my 17-year-old son is obsessed with it, and And I hope the community is going to love those updates. It's going to be awesome.
I think in our situation, weight gain is always a risk, right? As we all know, because, we don't have the big muscles working. So I think getting, like you said earlier, an investment in yourself, getting yourself, maintaining health, that's for longevity, makes things easier, getting in a car, in out of bed, all the things. We have a couple of questions I see in the comment section, if it's okay. So Michelle asked, are there any nutrition program recommendations, recipes in the app or anything like that?
That's so funny because literally I was just going to bring that up. With the new update, we are going to be adding in our own nutrition recipes. So there will be a section in there with guides for nutrition. We have that in our private Facebook community, but I'm very excited for it to be in the app, and because then everyone's going to be going in there more, interacting more in the community, getting the recipes that we both use. And yeah, we're excited for that.
Awesome.
I kind of wish we caught you before you did your update. We could have dropped you in the Marc network into your own private community with your own paywalls right through. We'd host and cover the expenses of that. We could potentially talk. We got some gamification in there.
There's definitely still room there, right, Marc?
Working together, right? We're stronger together under one roof. It's your own monetization. Yeah, we'll talk later. Can't pass up the opportunity. I don't get to see you guys all the time.
And you know what, though? It just strengthens your guys' exposure out there in the community. I think it's really important for people to know what's out there. Not everybody knows what's out there. We're in our little silos sometimes. And there's so much out there that it's overwhelming. Part of the reason why Marc started the Marc Network was to bring it all together. Jason also had a comment. He just wanted to know a little bit I know we covered it a little bit in the beginning, but some of the kind of struggles that you faced in the early phases, how you guys kind of moved through that into where you are today.
Sorry, could you repeat that? My dog was barking.
No, it's quite all right. So Jason was asking, if you guys can, expand a little bit on, I know we covered it early, the early phases of your recovery and some of the struggles you faced, and how you got beyond that, I guess kind of, and moved forward and got to where you are today.
I mean, for me, I was sick of feeling like I couldn't be independent. I was sick of relying on help from everyone. And I had always been so independent prior to my injury that I felt very defeated. And it was that instance in the gym for me when I was on vacation where I just broke down. And I kind of just said to myself, all right, Nikki, you have two choices. You can stay the same as you are now, or you make a change. And that change that I made was going to the gym with my friend and starting to work on my physical health again. And that led to getting stronger. And then I started changing my eating habits again. And then that led to weight loss. So my advice there is starting small. Jesi and I talk a lot about getting 1% better every single day. So many people try to take on so much at once. I need to change. I need to lose weight. I need to get stronger. I need to change my mindset. Focus on one thing, because you're going to get burnt out real quick. And then you're going to you might be even more depressed than where you are now. So start with one thing, conquer that, and then add on another. Conquer that, and then add on another. And ask for help. We're here as resources. That our community is amazing. Like literally everyone in this community wants to help one another. So that's what I love. And, it's hard, but you have to choose your hard, because right now is hard too.
Yep. I think that the biggest thing is you got to get to a point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like you can choose to stay sorry for yourself all your life if you want, but that's going to be a really miserable life. And if you want to be miserable, that's on you. For me, I got tired of being the victim of my own story. Well, because I'm a wheelchair user, you should feel bad for me because of my disability. I'm just, life is just really hard for me. Well, like newsflash, life is pretty much hard for everybody. Our hard just looks a little different. And so I definitely take a more like David Goggins hardcore approach to life where I'm just like, yo, get over your feelings. Let's keep moving forward. And I did start going to therapy to work through this. So I want to be open about that. Therapy is great. Talk to somebody.
Amazing.
But also like you've got to get to a point where there's just no other option. You either stay miserable in your same reality or you figure it out. But just so you know, your emotions aren't going to change your physical situation.
I start that off with conversations with people, and sometimes like my wife will tell me, "You're way too harsh." I said, everybody says, "What would you tell somebody?" I said, number one, you need to accept your situation, because if you can't accept it, you can't move forward. Forget your past, because my leg will never grow back. Your legs right now, right this second, aren't working. So you can focus on what you did before, or you can focus on what you can do to have a better life. And that's what I choose to focus on. Acceptance. Accept our situation. And then now we face challenges differently and we overcome them. And that's how I look at it.
Also knowing why you want to do something. If you don't know why you want to do it, you're going to quit real quick.
Real quick.
But when it gets hard, that's when you look at your why. And when your why is deep enough, that's going to keep you pushing forward.
Well said. And you touched on something, Jesi. I think your mind is a powerful muscle, and you need to really take care of that as much as you take care of your body. So in my early phases, I always had this attitude, well, I'll handle it myself. They stuck me in therapy and rehab, and I just would sit there and look at the therapist and not say anything. And it was like my way of controlling my environment. I didn't want to open that floodgates. But you know what I realized is that until I got my mind on right, all my energy was being zapped by that, by me trying to shield it. Seeing a therapist, if you're struggling with something, talking to someone, taking on a mentor, whatever it might be, whatever platform, but being able to express it so you can get your mind on right, so that the activities that you participate in, you can really put your energy there and not, so I think mental health in our community is key. And I think, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't you say?
Sorry. I just want to tell one thing. I feel like we all live in each other's heads. Like truthfully, like with everything said, I'm not even joking. 2 days ago, I stood in a room of someone I love and care about more than you could ever imagine. Right. And saw her having pretty much a nervous breakdown. And I said, "What are you doing?" And, "Oh, look at all this stuff." I said, "Stop looking at it as a big mess. Look at one little section of that mess and attack that section, little at a time. It's overwhelming looking at the big picture." Right, Nikki, what you're saying? And then what you just said, I said to her, I said, "You have convinced yourself you're the problem and that you're a mess." I said, "You've let everybody else get inside your head and you forgot who you were," which is true. Like you need to retell yourself and but I said, "You already started. You failed. You already failed." You said, "But." I said, "You need," and I literally said, I'm not joking. I stood in this room and what you just said, Nikki and Matt, what you just said, I literally just said that in, Jesi, you too. Like what I just literally had this conversation 2 days ago with, like I said, somebody that I love more, like not more than my, a very, very a family member. And I said, "You need to do that." And it's crazy how we all share that same passion. That's probably what brought us all together. We had that same like-minded, but we all had to get there. We all had to work. We had to make that commitment. We hit our roads, we hit our bumps, we hit our struggles. And in mental health, Matt, I'm actually leaving here tomorrow morning from Boston, driving to Indiana to speak for Brandon's House. It's a nonprofit organization that helps teenage kids and gets them into therapy, like by paying for it, because I actually went through it with my son where the insurance was like, yeah, 3-6 weeks, maybe get someone. And it's like, no, he needs help right now. Like, this is this scary situation for our family. Like, and I'm writing checks to get him into a personal, and some people don't have that money to do in Brandon's house. So mental health, it's a big part of it.
When I worked in rehab, I would tell people recovery is 70% mental and 30% physical, right? Your body's going to do what your body's going to do. But if your mind's not on right, nothing's going to work. So you got to kind of be focused on the goal. And, you know, and too many others before us didn't survive. We survived. It's our time to really do the best we can with it fully, right?
I think it's also important just to, you know, take a step back and just realize that, like, we're still alive.
Yeah.
Like, we still get to be here. And what a blessing that is in itself. And I think so often we get caught up by the big picture and all the negative in the situation. Human beings are just prone to look at the negative, right? And so it's like, oh, I don't have bowel and bladder control, and my legs don't work, and I'm in crazy chronic pain, and my back hurts. And it's like, and I can't reach the top shelf. And you just allow all that negative to build on top of each other, where it's like, well, I got this amazing community of people. I always have a seat. My shoes rarely get dirty. I get great parking most of the time, skip most of the lines. I get special privileges when I go to concerts and honestly anywhere. We went to dinner the other night and there was a long wait. It's like 30 minutes. And they sat us down before everyone else because I use a wheelchair. Like, there's so many perks, and you will get what you look for out of life. So if you're looking for the negative, you'll get more of that.
But it's also okay to have those moments, because I do have those moments where I literally am like, I just hit myself. I just got off the toilet too early, and my nerves sucks, and my muscle spasms are shit, and I need to take a shower, and I don't have any time, and this sucks, you know. And
you just stay there. That's the biggest thing.
Like,
you feel it, and then you gotta push it to the side.
You gotta honor it, right? Like, I mean, I remember the first time I watched my kids, my wife and my in-laws take my kids in the pool for the first time, and I had never been in the pool since my injury, and I remember feeling devastated, and I actually had to leave the moment and go for a walk, and no one can understand, but you know, and I was like, why am I feeling this way? I'm a father, I got infants, I got this, I should feel, and I was beating myself up, and I said, wait a minute, and one of my neighbors said, let yourself have this moment, all right, now you're done, now go back and figure out how you can get in that water and figure out it's got to be a system. Reach out to your community, figure out what's out there. And that's exactly what I did. But you're right. Well, guys, I mean, we could probably talk for days. I mean, there's so much. Like I said, I dove into your, you know, the Tough Mudder, all the stuff, your dancing, the roulette stuff. I mean, you guys have done so much outside of even the fitness world that we're going to bring you back because there's more that we got to dive into, right?
Second episode, 100%, definitely. An update on the new app and how's it going to go and how's it going with all those new features.
And my book will be coming out too, so.
Well, keep us posted on that release date. We'll get you in right when it comes out.
Available for pre-sale at Barnes & Noble right now.
Any other quick shout-outs, Nikki? Anything to drop a promo on? Any other new information?
Yeah, be sure to follow us at wheelwithme@fit. And if you have any questions, please message us on Instagram, email us at wheelwithme@fit@gmail. Nikki is such a plethora of information. I have a ton of information. Like, we're here to help you guys. At the end of the day, we want you to go out and live an amazing life like we've been very fortunate to do.
And I just want to say one more thing too. If you want to go to the gym, go.
Yeah.
We are and if you're scared and you want to go. Because I'm going right now with my neighbor who is able-bodied. She's not a wheelchair user, and she doesn't want to go without me. Everybody has like a scarcity mindset. That wasn't the right word, but everybody is a little bit nervous getting started at the gym. Nobody is staring at you. Everybody's in their own world, doing their own workout. They might look at you and be like, oh, dang, look at that wheelchair user getting after it. But that's it. All right. So you can do it. If you don't want to, you don't have to, because you can get in the app and you can do everything at home. So
100%.
I'm gonna take you up on it. You motivate me because I've been on the fence. I need to get back in. I need to lose a few pounds, you know. So I've been kind of hesitant, but I've been saying I want to go to the gym. I'm gonna use your guys' app. I'm gonna definitely do that, but I also want to get back out in the gym. And now you motivated me. Tomorrow I'm gonna go explore some of the local gyms, see which one's accessible. Thank you guys. And you know, I mean, you guys have been. What was that?
If if you're watching the replay or you watch this live, if you gained value from today, please share it with a friend that could also gain value. Please share it with the community. That's how these things grow. That's how this podcast is going to grow. That's how the Marc Network's going to grow. And that's how Will Me Adapt Fit and United Spinal will grow. So please, please, please share this with a friend in the community. Let's help each other get better together.
Thank you. Hey guys, before we depart, I want to know if any of you guys have ever watched the documentary Crip Camp.
Yep.
Did you, Marc? Have you ever seen it?
I haven't. Sorry.
All right, you got. And what about you, Nikki? Have you ever seen it?
I work a lot.
Yeah, I did.
So we're excited, you know, for our next podcast on 27th. We are going to have a representative from the National Center for Independent Living, Theo Brady. He oversees the Centers for Independent Living, stem from that documentary. So many people, I worked in a SIL for a while. I recognized I didn't see a lot of wheelers coming through the door, and I always wondered, where are they? I don't think a lot of people know how to utilize their SILs. So please spread the word, you know, about our podcast. Come meet Theo Brady, learn more about what SILs can do for our community. They help us navigate the system, support us through any community base, and keep us independent in the community. So it's May 27th at 7:30. Spread the word. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. I couldn't have asked. Marc, you are 100% correct. They were the best guests to have on our launch. I got to say, you guys are wonderful.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, Matt, I agree. Couldn't agree more. I'm an observer. I watch and I observe people. And I see a lot of people that say they're doing a lot of things or gonna do a lot of things. I've met tons of them. I watch them. And then there's just people that don't say anything and I just see them doing everything. And that was them, you know, and instantly, you know, we were struggling figuring out who. And I was like, it just popped. I think it was a post you shared I saw and I was like, I'm calling Jesi. Like, that's it. I got her number. Like, I'm calling. And it was, serious. It was a true honor. And you know what, no matter what, I'm telling you, I watch, I pay attention, and you two are doing it. You're killing it. I appreciate it. And I know our community needs it. So if you're on here, please check out their app. It's available in Apple and Google. Check out their social media. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. The two of them, plus We're With Me, Adapt Fit. You can get it, join it. Even just stop following. You'll see. And you'll notice yourself how dedicated these women really are to what they're doing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you girls back on the podcast to keep telling us how things are going.
We're ready for round two.
I want to hear about the Tough Mudder and the Polaris racing because I'm into cars. Obviously, motorcycles no longer, but into cars. And I love going fast. I want to learn more about that.
With you all day, Matt. We could go. We just got my boyfriend. We just got him a WRX. I have a Mercedes GLB AMG, a 35. That thing's the business. I got a speeding ticket like a month and a half.
I got a 69 Camaro out back.
We got a group of us here on the East Coast that are doing. We do the car show route. We are a Mustang, and my buddy has a BMW. We want to get out there and show people that no matter what, you can still enjoy your hobbies and your things that you love. You still go fast. And Nikki, I'll talk to you about dancing. It was something I didn't think I would love, but then got into it and I had the opportunity to work with a great instructor and learn more. And dancing is a great exercise in and of itself and a great form of expression.
Yes, it really is. It is a core workout, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Everybody always asks me, what do you miss the most? Right? Losing a leg. I mean, and I'll always say, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I miss dancing. Like me and my crew, me and my buddies, like we were into I used to run nightclubs. I had my own entertainment business, and I had DJs and musicians from hip hop, R&B, reggae to jazz, funk, soul, and we traveled up and down the East Coast, doing shows, opening up for Funk Flex, Sugar Hill Gang, Black Sheep, Talib Kweli. We did swing dancing, we did break dancing, we did house dancing, and that truly, they used to call me Hut Stepper, and and just messing around and dancing. But trust me, when I dance in my wheelchair, I definitely do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you
You got to keep it going, right? It doesn't mean you
Listen.
stop. You just figure out different ways of doing things, right?
Exactly.
I think we're getting donged and pulled off the stage because
Yes,
I think the time's running down. But ladies, thank you, and we'll definitely be having you back. And are you guys going to be at the Abilities Expo in Chicago?
You
We
will
will
see
be
us
in Lauderdale.
Yep.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Well, good thing I got flyers on my table at Chicago with your girls' names on it to help promote it. So we'll still be pushing for you. All right.
Awesome.
Well, have a great night. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.